Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another exciting week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. After a very close battle in the final game of the regular season against Tyler Consolidated, a 46-43 victory, the Raiders turned their attention to the postseason as they will host the Clay County Panthers for round one of the Class AA playoffs. Roane County High School Raider football is brought to you by these community-minded sponsors: Roane General Hospital, McIntosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, Route 33 Steakhouse, Miller's Suds and Sales, Roane Self Storage, Circle S Farms, Backwood Ramblings, Stats Pharmacy, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, Ford Depew Realty, Penna's Barbershop, Norman L. Daniels State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Mini Hamilton Health Systems, Poca Valley Bank, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, People's Bank, Shamblin Brothers Farm Supply, Stump Funeral Home, The Hungry Moose Restaurant, Paramount Surveying, APS Air Production Services, Spencer Pizza Hut, Gomard and Spencer, Little Canal Bus, Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House, Tudor's Biscuit World, Hardin Insurance Agency, Harris Oil Company, Kirby Insurance, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7 o'clock p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
Like a seamless transition, John Penna. It just seems perfect.
We can do this from anywhere. We can do this from anywhere.
Thanks to Elon Musk. Thanks to Swolby.
Don't think that guy just yet.
We could go off the air at any point. This is true. Welcome to a special edition of the Raider Review, episode number 12. We are live. Our home away from our home away from home. We are not, obviously, at Route 33 Steakhouse here tonight. It is not, obviously, 7 p.m. The reason we are where we are right now, which is we are Royal Weaver Park, the freshwater family park, because it is a bonfire and pep rally for both the Roane County High School Raider football team and the Spencer Middle School Yellow Jacket football team. So we decided we were going to go mobile, and head to Will Weaver Park. We've got the Starlink on. We are very excited to be here, and we are not the only ones, John Penna. This has been done the last couple of years. We're going to thank right away the Freshwater family. Amy Childress has been so good to help put this on. She and the crew over at Conserve and all of the other employees that they have, they've done such a wonderful job. Thanks to them for putting this big thing on. Thanks to the volunteers, by the way, who are serving food. Thanks to everybody who's helped this out. But this happened the last couple of years because we've been building a lot of real excitement in Roane County for football once again. It happened a few years ago. It happened last year. We made it all the way to the state championship game. And this just kept going on. It was like a party for weeks.
Yeah.
And so here we are back again. Holy cow, take a look over there, Swolby, at the fire raging. They just put the torch to it. There's a lot of gasoline on that fire at the moment. That is a bonfire above all. The only thing I could imagine that's close to that was when I burned up some carpet years and years ago. So we've been doing this very cool thing each postseason, and of course, John, the Raiders are back in the Class AA postseason once again. So just a great opportunity, and everybody knows it now because everybody is here. They showed up before we even got here.
Yeah, I think it's a bigger crowd this year than what it was last year. Of course, we made the state championship, so everybody's feeling good about the Raiders being back in the playoffs once again, hosting a home playoff game this week. But just great community support for the football kids, and man, you're just so thankful that we get to do these kind of things for the kids here in the community.
Yeah, it's such a neat thing, and we want to thank all the people who have showed up and showed out to help this, and then all the people who are here. Of course, there is an itinerary for tonight. Obviously, 6 p.m. is when this thing got going. By the time we showed up at 5:40, it was already crazy, a lot of people here, and so they have free food for you. They've got hot dogs, and they've got popcorn, and they got some drinks and sort of other things that you can get. They do have Wonderwall Events is here doing that. I don't know what you would actually call that. I need to ask Chris DeCasto exactly what that thing is. It's a 360-degree photo booth, basically.
Do they call it like a sphere thing or something?
I think she called it the Sphere. I'm not exactly sure. Of course, DJ Dusty is here. He is playing the music. You can look right on your screen. The bonfire is huge, folks. And so we're just inviting people to come out, bring your kids, bring your family, enjoy yourself out here, and get that excitement about the Friday night football game to come, at least that. And then at 6:30, here in just a couple of minutes, we expect to see the cavalcade coming from Roane County High School. Of course, the Raiders had practice today, and they're going to be coming through. They're going to get an escort in here to the facility, and once that happens, they're all going to meet up at the top there at the bonfire. They're going to hang out. We've got, of course, our sideline reporter, Emma Sloan, is no longer going to be on the sideline. She's going to be up at the bonfire trying to pick and choose some kids to get on the air, so we'll be going to her throughout the evening as well. This is just a fun night for people to get excited about Raider football once again.
Yeah, you know, one of our main sponsor for this Raider Review, DW Excavating, they're going to be the ones that are going to be hauling the kids in, so you'll have the high school team as well as the championship middle school football team. Just a great opportunity for that middle school team to kind of get the feel of what the high school does, and a lot of those guys look up to the high school, and a few of those guys are going to be heading up to the high school next year. So just a good opportunity for our kids once again to get some recognition and see the community. You know, this is a little bit different. On Friday nights, you're on the field and you can't really hear the crowd sometimes. You know, I mean, the crowd's there, but if you're so tuned in, you know, you can't hear that. Now they get to interact with folks around, and for people to tell them how proud they are of them. So just a really fun night here in Roane County.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy ourselves. Stay tuned, obviously. Again, we've got Emma Sloan. She's going to be working through the crowd to find some of the players. She may be pulling some other people to get interviews with them. I don't know. It's going to be fun to see who she ends up with. We're going to talk about the game coming up. Obviously, Coach Burdett, once they get here, he's got some things he's got to attend to, and then we'll make sure to get him on with us as per usual. Here's the agenda for tonight. Obviously, meeting at the picnic shelter, eating and visiting with our friends and neighbors, and then at 6:30, we're going to be lining up to welcome the team, the coaches, and the cheerleaders as they are going to head here. Of course, the Roane County High School Raider Marching Band is here. They are getting themselves ready kind of right behind us as you swing around. So we'll be showing all the people that are already here in the facility. So neat. Yes, absolutely. Toby Ford, thank you to Handy Mart, Conserve, and all that make this thing happen. So at 6:30-ish, because it already is 6:30, so at 6:30-ish is when the team is going to arrive. They're running on my time, of course, so it could take them a few more extra minutes to get here. At 6:45, they're going to invite everybody to kind of move up to the bonfire area following the team when they get here. And then from 7 to 8, it's going to be a gathering by the bonfire. It'll be greet the team. There's going to be the group cheers. They're going to be led by the band and the Roane County High School Lady Raider cheerleaders. And, of course, there's going to be discussions and interviews with players and coaches, not only with us, but up there, up at the bonfire. So it's going to be a good evening. And we'll close it out with our closing prayer from Coach Russ Stump, who is the team chaplain as well. Let's talk about the other part of this, John. It's not just for Roane County High School. It's for Spencer Middle School's Yellow Jacket football team. You had a ground view of this team throughout the year as an assistant coach for the team. Talk about the season as it began, what the expectations that you guys thought you may have, and what happened throughout the year to get to that final game and the CWVAC title.
It was an amazing ride. It was so much fun. You know, starting out over the summer, they were starting to do flex days, and they asked me to help out a little bit with some conditioning and some agility drills and things, and kind of got the juices flowing. So once they started getting into some of the plays and things like that, it just drew me back in, and I appreciate those guys letting me come back and coach one last season. I just enjoyed it, but you know, the kids really worked, and from what the coaches told me prior to, there was a lot more participation throughout the summer with the conditioning and the flex days and things like that. So you could see the group of kids that we had, they had the makings of a really good team. They put the time in, they put the work in. We put a new playbook in. They learned the offense very quickly, and it was awesome. So, you know, going in, you kind of knew that we had a pretty good shot with the group of kids that we did have. We were 8th grade heavy, and a lot of the kids that had come back from that were 7th graders up to the 8th grade. You know, we started out with a bang. Had a couple really good, well, actually, we went to do a 7-on-7, and we did well there at Ravenswood. And, you know, we got the season started off right. We were undefeated up until the Junior Black Walnut Bowl, which we had scheduled a very good team.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, Kristen really was like, what are you doing? But, you know, it was just an opportunity for our kids to play some tough competition, and I feel like we did the whole season. Kids were great. You know, got to the playoffs with the number 1 seed. That was one of our goals. Get to the championship game, and we knew that South Harrison was going to be a tough team because we played them already. And their coach and I had talked a lot throughout the season. We kind of shared some info and some tips and things like that on other teams that we were playing. So I knew that we were going to be up for it, and man, they brought their best game, their double A game. We were fortunate to come out on top, but in that game, it took such a team effort. On the last, on the 3rd down and 42 play, we were down. You know, we were down quite a few fellas. Just, you know, they had gotten dinged up in the game. So Coach Sam called the play, and Joe Kuhn was there to make the catch, and a great throw by Walker Strickland. And you know, both of those guys were really good, helpful on defense, but when it came down to it on offense, they made it happen.
It was 0-0 at the end of regulation in the CWVAC title game. It went to 2 overtimes. There was some craziness that happened. There was 2 separate teams fumbling, each on the inch line on their way in. Again, Yellow Jackets scoring on the first play of the second overtime, having that called back, ended up getting a 3rd and 42 from the 48 of their own sideline, and then causing that fumble to win it. A 6-0 victory and a CWVAC championship. As you see on the screen, the Raiders are here, and we are excited for this Roane County Raider football program once again. As you said, Doug Walker with DW Excavating toting all of the players. Please be careful. We can't afford to lose any more football players. If we lose any more, we're going to have Emma suit up. She's going to be off the sidelines and in uniform because we're going to need players.
She knows the game pretty well. If anybody hadn't had a chance to watch her interview from this past week with WCHS, man, you are missing out. Go back. It's all over Facebook. She did such a great job. She has been awesome for us this season, and man, we're going to miss her. I'm already thinking about it. Like, what can we do to keep her, keep her here, sticking around?
I think she's got to go do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
So you see the Spencer Middle School Yellow Jackets. They are on one of the rollbacks, and then the Raider football team is on the other side. Let's just listen in on this stuff.
such community support.
I absolutely love the support. And we've always talked about over the last 19 years, John, you and I, Coach Burdett, a bunch of us, we want that feeling from 1990 or 1991 back in Roane County, and we absolutely have got it. If you can't tell how many people are here because it's dark, make sure you come here if you can make it. Raider Marching Band fight song at the moment. Of course, you saw the high school team. And coming up next is the Spencer Middle School CWVAC championship team.
You talked about the big plays in that championship game. You know, Coach Burdett was helpful to give us some advice when things were getting a little rough. And we put some guys up front on the defense, and I got to give a shout out to Taven Penna.
Oh, wow.
He blew the center up a couple times, and he blew him up on that last play that caused the fumble. So he was pretty pumped about that, pretty excited about it. But like I said, again, a great team win because it took everybody that night.
Yeah, that one took me 3 replays to see because I was looking at the fumble to try to figure that out. So they're headed up, as you can see, to the top side here at Freshwaters Field. And it's all the way up to the top section, and the bonfire is raging. So you guys have plenty of time to come down here. They're going to be here and till 8 o'clock. They're going to be serving food. They've got popcorn. They've got glizzies. I'm surprised you didn't get one yet, John.
You know, I showed up here right about 5 till, and I was trying to hold the light for you guys to get everything set up. Maybe now that everybody's cleared out, we can make a beeline for the glizzies.
Yeah, everybody is going to be heading up top, and we're going to be having our show from here. Again, we traditionally start the show at 7 p.m. We go from 7 to 8, but again, because of this bonfire and this cool thing, pep rally, we thought we would just hang out a little earlier, give a chance for you all to see the parade of Spencer Middle School and Roane County High School players, and of course, get the marching band playing the fight song. Of course, good thing we've got the fire departments here, just in case that bonfire gets a little Drew Miller-y, is the way I would like to call it.
I've paid attention over the last couple of weeks just to see how much they had stacked up over there, and there's a ton of things for them to burn. Of course, they clear a lot of fallen trees and things from around this area, but the stack is very big, and you can see that flame is shooting way up. But man, just an awesome atmosphere for these kids.
Hoping we get a chance. I don't know if you have talked to Randy Lawson at all. Is he going to be here tonight? Would love to get him on.
I think Randy was on the float.
I'd love to get a chance for him to come down and speak about the season and, of course, that championship. Because you and I have talked. This is not something that has happened much in Roane County as far as even playing for a CWVAC championship, let alone winning one. We could only count maybe a couple of times in the past that the Yellow Jackets or the Tigers or anybody's even played for it. We've won a couple, and now I think 3 or maybe 4. I'm not sure. We haven't won many.
No, so I think 2006 would have been, I think the first one maybe for Spencer Middle in 2006.
Okay.
That might have been the first one. And then you had 2020 with Shea Harper, Lane, Watson, Clay, Walker. I don't know if you remember those guys or not.
I think they're pretty memorable.
They were all right. And then this past season, or this season here. So, 3 that I know of.
There's one more that you're missing out on. 1992.
That was the Blue
Devils. Junior High School Blue Devils. Roane County.
Well, yeah.
Counts.
Yeah.
CWVAC champs.
That's
true. It counts. That's Roane County schools. Just because we weren't a middle school back then, we still won. And so that's 4 that we can think of in the entire history of the conference for Spencer, Walton, Gary, whoever it is.
Yeah.
And so that's a very rare thing for, of course, anybody in Roane County. Speaking of rarities, we were talking about Spencer High School and the state title that they won in 1991. Since then, the Roane County Raiders obviously have made one state title, one state title matchup, one state championship. That was last season, and of course, that is what Roane County's looking forward to trying to do here again. But you got to take it one game at a time, just like the coaches have always said. You can't go to the next one, especially in the postseason, until you play this one that's coming up Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be a rematch of a game earlier, so the Raiders are used to playing Clay County, and it's going to be cool for us too because we have WVRC Clay County now that does the coverage for them, and we watched a little bit of the coaches show last night, which is cool. They're kind of doing the things that we do, but yeah, you got to take care of what you got to take care of first to get to the next one.
We're thinking about some of the things that are taking place in Roane County. Of course, most of the fall sports are done. Obviously, the Lady Raider volleyball team finished up their season in the regionals at Wayne a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. At this point, I've lost track of time. There is still cheerleading competition coming up tomorrow night here, Class AA LKC, and that is hosted by Roane County High School. So we invite you to come out and enjoy that. At one point, I was trying to get a chance to do that. I did not know it was going to fall on the exact same day as the West Virginia High School State Volleyball Championships, which I will be covering starting tomorrow morning bright and early at 9 a.m. At the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. But there is still a cheerleading competition going on tomorrow night for the LKCs. And, of course, they will still be on the sidelines on Friday night for the first round of the Class AA playoffs. Other than that, we're thinking now, John, in terms of moving sort of into winter seasons. So let's talk about what we've got going on here. I know that the tryouts for the girls' high school basketball team took place this week. The boys, I believe, start next week for the high school. Do you know what the middle school situation is? Maybe Toby Ford is out there. He's still watching.
Well, I believe the girls' basketball at the middle school, so they started last week, I think. Or no, this week.
Okay.
And so they've done their I don't know if they've done cuts or whatever, but they are practicing. The boys' basketball, I believe it's kind of the same deal. They started this week. Don't think that they made any cuts or had to make cuts. So they started this week here as well. Of course, we're on the wrestling side of things, and we have our new wrestling room that's downtown, Relentless Wrestling Club. I'm looking at about 30 wrestlers right now wrestling for the middle school.
Wonderful.
Good numbers. And, man, hardworking kids. We're on day 3 right now. We worked pretty hard the last 2 days on conditioning. Told them, everybody's got to get into that wrestling shape. And then today we drilled really hard with moves. We put 5 different moves on them, and we individually picked the kids out and had them show us the move in front of everybody. And, man, 0 mistakes. So that means that they're tuned in, they're focused in. Not only that, but we have 8 girls on the team, I believe. So we're really pushing that. We're working to get the ladies out, and they've done a great job. They've kept right in there with the guys. They work just as hard, and they're picking up what we're teaching as well.
Speaking of having some ladies on the middle school team, it is a historic season coming up here for Roane County High School in the wrestling department, because for the first time ever, Roane County High School has a girls wrestling team. And they have their own schedule. They will be involved in some of the meets that the boys' teams are on, but they have their own schedule as well.
They do. So, we're anticipating quite a few wrestlers coming out now, just the girls' side. But there's a varsity schedule, there's a JV schedule, and then now there's a girls' schedule. But like you talked about, the girls sometimes will travel with the JVs, which is, there's going to be girls-only tournaments, and I think that there's one in Oak Hill, there's one at Shady Springs. Can't totally remember the rest of them, but 3 different schedules for our high school team. We are very, very excited for the girls to get the opportunity. Coach Jarvis has already went out and ordered some girls singlets, so they're going to get some brand new singlets to start out with. And then I'm excited for what we have coming back on this team. We were pretty young last year at the high school for wrestling. so excited for this season to start because these guys have put a lot of work in through the off season. We've been able to get our kids in the wrestling room quite a bit. Even before we had Relentless opened up, we had access to the high school wrestling room, and man, it's just been great. Excited for some new guys in the coaching staff at the high school.
How about that?
Yeah, we still have Coach Jarvis. He's leading the way as the head coach, but you've got Andrew Cummings that is a former head coach at Calhoun. He is here now. He is on our staff. He's one of the assistant coaches. And then a guy I know pretty well.
I think a little bit.
Yeah, Tyson Penna has got his coaching cert, so he's going to step in and help out as well. And I think Shadrach Greathouse is also going to do some helping. You know, with the size of our team now and the different tournaments that we're going to be, branching off and going to, our varsity will hit some very tough competition. One of the fellows that Bear Tracks, he follows everything when it comes to wrestling. As soon as I put our schedules out, he said, Coach, you guys have put together a great schedule. It's a tough one, but it's only going to make us better. So a few different coaches, different places, and a lot of opportunities for our wrestlers.
Yeah, one of the things that we're excited about at WVRC is the ability and the opportunity to cover some wrestling this coming winter. And one of those that we'll be covering first will be the Gary Bender Invitational. And that's a wonderful. And, of course, our buddy Swolby's going to be there.
Swolby's going to be doing color commentating.
Yeah, I'm going to bring him on the air with me. It's going to be fantastically fun to get him. So that's one of the things we're going to be able to cover, and we're just very excited about it. And I know that wrestling is such an important part of Roane County history, and you and some of the volunteers who have really helped to promote and build this thing to the baseline of where it needs to be to get to where you need 5 or 6 coaches on a staff at the high school, because you've got so many kids that you've got to be able to have covered when we go to some of these places. There's going to be some good tournaments this year for the wrestling team. Some of the ones I think of year in, year out that are really good, like the Jason Eads tournament over in Point Pleasant, always a big one. Roane County has qualified for the West Virginia State duels the last few years, and so another opportunity to qualify for that. Of course, if you're in the LKC, my goodness, it's hard enough.
Yeah, when you're wrestling in the LKC. So another one that we got into this season is the Braxton County Invitational.
Oh wow!
And we hadn't been there for it's been a good while. So that's one that you kind of have to get an invite to. Yeah. Kind of like Jason Eads. So the other teams that are around the state are starting to take notice that Roane County is putting the work in and becoming a top 10 team year in and year out. And real quick, I do want to give a shout out to our Relentless Wrestling, our Boosters Club. We have done a lot of work to get to where we are able to have a wrestling room.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for everybody that takes part of it. Anthony Roberts, Sherry Roberts, Cruz and April Lawson, my wife Kristen.
We know who the real MVP is in your family.
Oh yeah. She puts up with a lot. Don't tell her I said that.
She's watching.
Yeah. Adam and Rhonda Webb. Emily and Josh Nichols, the coaches when they're able to come help us with fundraisers, just so many folks. The kids have done a lot of it too. They've helped tear down some walls to get our wrestling room up and going. Just thankful, man. Thankful for the group of family, or for the group of parents. Matt and Kayla Price, they've been a big help as well. So we're excited, man. We're excited what we're doing with wrestling. As exciting as what things are here for the football team, that's where we want to get to. We want to bring home some state championships, as a team, and bring home those individual placers.
Again, stay tuned to WVRC. We'll have full coverage all winter season long of wrestling, of boys basketball, of girls basketball. We might get into some other stuff. Who knows what we're going to do. One thing I did want to mention to you guys while people are out there, if you are familiar with last year when we did our Christmas extravaganza special, we are planning for that on, I believe, the 7th of December. It's a Sunday, December 7th, so we're planning on that. We'll put out the feeler for that, obviously, on the station as well. But we're looking forward to continuing to cover Raider football here.
Yes.
We are not done with this team, and as soon as Coach Palmer Burdett gets finished doing all the things he's going to have to do. Hopefully we can get him down here. If not, you and I'll just start shooting the breeze, and we'll go X's and O's from last week's incredibly chaotic, stressful game.
Yeah.
And we'll preview the upcoming game in round one. It is number 6 Roane County hosting number 11 in a rematch, Clay County High School, and that will be Friday night. We're going to break away and give our love to DW Excavating, our exclusive sponsor each and every season of the Raider Review. We'll be back in just a bit.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another exciting week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. After a very close battle in the final game of the regular season against Tyler Consolidated, a 46-43 victory, the Raiders turned their attention to the postseason as they will host the Clay County Panthers for round one of the Class AA playoffs. Roane County High School Raider football is brought to you by these community-minded sponsors: Roane General Hospital, Akatosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, Route 33 Steakhouse, Miller's Suds and Sales, Roane Self Storage, Circle S Farms, Backwood Ramblings, Stats Pharmacy, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, or Depew Realty, Penna's Barbershop, Norman L. Daniels State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Mini Hamilton Health Systems, Poca Valley Bank, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, People's Bank, Shamblin Brothers Farm Supply, Stump Funeral Home, The Hungry Moose Restaurant, Paramount Surveying, APS Air Production Services, Spencer Pizza Hut, Gomard and Spencer, Little Canal Bus, Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House, Tudor's Biscuit World, Hardin Insurance Agency, Harris Oil Company, Kirby Insurance, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award, sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7 o'clock p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
Putting out an APB. Anyone who is in the area of the picnic shelter at Freshwater Park over here, right past the State Road Garage. Swolby needs some coffee, folks. Swolby needs coffee. I'm very thankful to Angie Simons. She put in a call for me, and someone brought me a very nice McCafe black coffee from McDonald's. I do appreciate that, Angie Simons. Thank you so much. Badly, badly needed here on this very chilly night, but that's the only thing cold. Our spirits are warm. The bonfire is blowing up over there. It is very, very hot up there on top of the facility. We're here doing our special broadcast of the Raider Review, and right about now is about the time we generally start our show, but we wanted to start early, get a chance to see the parade, getting the kids from the high school down here, celebrating, of course, the CWVAC championship game and championship victory for Spencer Middle School. And it was not easy, folks. It happened in the most chaotic, crazy, fun way that a middle school game could ever be done. A 6-0 double overtime victory for Spencer Middle School. Just insanity. And I tell you what, I could not believe how many people tuned in to watch that. It's a Thursday night middle school game, and people were just over the moon about it. And it was so cool that people did tune in for it.
Yeah, had a lot of folks around town. Who's this weird guy behind us messing with our equipment?
Yeah, I think that's Swolby. Nobody knows.
He's kind of like Bigfoot. So it was an awesome time, and it was a stressful game, of course, to be a part of. But I think Coach Burdett kind of got the same feeling that we did on Friday night. because that was a tough one to come out on top.
Wanted to say hi to people tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, our athletic director, Toby Ford. Toby, again, best wishes. Hope you get better soon, buddy. Always miss hanging around with you, especially on our show on Wednesday nights. We got kind of used to Toby being a part of the show for a little bit. Jim Dean, man, sorry to hear about that. Jim recovering from gallbladder surgery, so he couldn't be here at the bonfire and the pep rally here. Anthony Browning, boy, that's got to be a proud papa this year. Braxton having one heck of a senior season. Has scored twice, and I'll tell you what, probably I enjoyed the high step to the end zone, but my most favorite memory of him scoring that second time was just standing around with his arms out and then all of a sudden flashing the Heisman real quick.
Yep. The old Heisman pose, those are two huge plays that he's made this season. And not only that, but those things are going to go down in history. You had the high step from the big guy, and then he gets to score twice. I mean, how many times do you get those opportunities? And when he did, he made the most of them. The high step and then the Heisman pose. Only thing that we need left, only thing else that he needs to do is the Paul Bunyan, the Paul Bunyan pose when Michigan beats up on little brother Michigan State. That's just Michigan State. Now, I'm not talking about Ohio State. We plant flags in the middle of their field, baby.
I'm sure a very proud mother who is tuning in here, Christina Lacerno, Javon, the sophomore, over 1,000 yards, and an instrumental part of helping Roane County over the hump last week. Denise Ellis tuning in, Kathy Burdett as well. Mark Boggs, thank you so much, Mark. We do appreciate it. I know you tune in every week from different places, and I'm glad that you are still able to connect with your hometown and your home community, and we're thankful that we can do that. Loretta Duncan, absolutely go Raiders. We have got, of course, Emma Sloan up at the bonfire itself, and she is going to be trying to pull people aside, players, cheerleaders, coaches, whoever she can. And we hope that this will work because we do have a long-distance relationship between our transmitters down here and up there. So we're very, very hopeful that this actually works here. But here's something that Emma found for us. She found a couple of ladies who are not cheerleaders or not players, who do not get a lot of recognition sans the postseason awards banquet, and that is some of the water girls, and that is something very, very important that is a part of this program that often gets overlooked. Emma, I want to thank you for finding some of the water girls, and hopefully this works. Here you go.
All right, hopefully this is working, even though we're pretty far away, farther than we are on the sidelines. But I'm here with Chloe Schaefer and Jalen Roberts, and they have a little bit of an overlooked position on the football team. But I'm just going to ask them, what is your main position with the football team?
So we are the managers of the football team. We give the boys water during practice. We do whatever the coaches tell us to, and we start in June and go all season long with the boys.
And what do you do for the players during practices throughout the week?
During practices, we basically make sure that they have all the water that they need. And if Coach Rick tells us that we need an ice bath, we make sure it's done. But yeah.
Freezing.
And what do you do for the players during the Friday night games?
Not too bad.
We make sure they have their water in their Gatorade because, football players need Gatorade, and if we have someone injured out on the team, whether there are players or not, we go and we make sure they're okay. We give them water, pickle juice, whatever they need.
And Brad. We make sure they have Brad because Brad is a big part of our team.
Brad is a really big part of the team for the Raiders. And how are you guys feeling about the first playoff game Friday night?
I feel pretty good. I think we got this in the bag.
I'm excited to see how far we go this round, especially looking at last year. I have faith in our boys, so we better go far.
All right, thank you guys for taking time to do the interview with me. I'll send it back to you, Drew.
Thank you very much, Miss Emma. And again, she is going to be up there working throughout the evening. Never a dull moment. Sorry about that. Thank you, Schwalbe. He was on camera for a split second there.
Oh, we saw that guy.
Yeah. Thank you, Emma. Of course, that is a couple young ladies who do a lot of that tough work, a lot of dirty work. You don't get a lot of praise at the postseason, obviously, in the banquet.
Yeah.
You get some love from the coaching staff and everybody there. But it is a pretty thankless job, and it's a very important job. And you'll see those girls. It's not just that they sit there and hand out water.
Yeah.
They are working. They're here at the end of school on Friday, and they're working the entire game. They're here on Mondays, Tuesdays for practice. They do a whole bunch, and so thankful
Yes.
that she was able to find those two young ladies.
Yeah, very thankful they do. You know, when I was up at the high school helping coach, those young ladies were, you know, we needed some blocking dummies or pads or this or that. They are on the move. You know, if somebody gets dinged up, you need some ice. They're getting the ice for everybody. So yeah, very thankful for them, and they do a great job, and they're very, very helpful.
I was hoping John was going to keep talking there because I was sending out a message.
I had a cough.
We're trying to make sure that wherever Emma is, of course, our transmitters, if you see, our transmitter is right behind John. Our receiver's there, and she's way up there on the hill, so we got to have some line of sight, and so hopefully that is a good place for her to be so we can get some more interviews. She said she was going to try to get some cheerleaders on. Of course,
cool.
Not only are they here leading the cheers tonight, they've got to be thinking about tomorrow night with the LKC cheer competition hosted at Roane County High School. That's another big deal for the Lady Raiders who, again, they work year in and year out, and not a lot of thanks for the efforts that they put forward on the sidelines, leading the cheers. They're traveling with the team. They're doing all the things that you would need to do on top of working on their own routines. Big deal.
Yeah, a lot of work. I mean, like you said, they start, you know, summer. They'll start working on their routines, and they go all the way through basketball season. So that's 2 whole seasons that they work through. But you know, it was really cool this year. One of the things that I really liked was the alumni when you brought people back.
That was so cool.
That was so fun. That was a great night, and so many of the former cheerleaders had come back. I'm going to have to give some of my classmates a hard time. Hopefully next year we'll get some of those girls to come back, and I'll challenge them to some backflips or some back handsprings.
By that time, John, you may be able to do it. You're really starting to get svelte.
We'll see. I worked on a floor today, so
you might be in traction.
Yeah, my lower back might be done for. I might have to go home and get in the hot tub tonight.
And again, here is another part of the Friday nights that we absolutely love. The Roane County High School Raider Marching Band. They do just as much, if not more, work than everybody else. They're here over the summer. They're doing their routines. They're practicing in 90-degree heat and humidity. They're doing their own schedule of events, and they go to these festivals, and they go to competitions and compete as well. And again, this has been obviously a point of contention with people in our broadcast, and we have. I think that
you're not going to bring that up, are you?
I am going to. I think that we've done a pretty good job, and now we have people for us who are reminding us we are a monetized channel, and with 5,000 plus people, we have built our channel on Facebook up so much and on YouTube so much that we cannot even risk getting shut down as a channel because of copyright infringement. Now, I'm telling you, people may not think it happens, but we left the band on for what is our national anthem.
Yeah.
And that is, as far as I know, not copyrighted and not copyrightable. Still got a ding on Facebook for copyright rules. So we apologize for that. We really wish we could do that. And I absolutely do appreciate and thank the band for everything they continue to do. We just are not allowed to play them, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I despise it. I wish those weren't the rules. I wish it weren't that way, because we'd love to. Heck, I'd put a road mic down on the field if I could and have a good time with it. But so that's just how it is. But again, I want to thank those people, of course, profusely for putting forth all that work and effort. It builds a Friday night, and it makes Friday night so special in West Virginia.
Yeah, they do. They're out on the pavement all summer working on their marching routines. They hit festivals. They hit band competitions. You just can't say enough about them. One of the things, so I'm not super familiar with the band until, recently because of our good buddy and coach, Cruz Lawson. His daughter Hallie is one of the band, one of the band members, and every time I turned around, he's like, I got to pick Hallie up at this time, or she's been practicing from this time to this time, and I'm like, wow, they put in a ton of work. So much respect to everybody that's in the band.
We are going to have Coach Paul Burdett down with us here in just a little bit. I had a chance. I've been going back and forth with Emma Sloan. She's already picked a couple of people out of the crowd. Now, this isn't anybody who's on the football team right now. This isn't anybody who's a water girl or a cheerleader, although these two guys are heavily cheering for the Raiders. She has got a couple of special high school young men who are what we would like to consider super fans. Emma, take it away.
Well, I actually only have one of the guys because the other one would not do the interview, but Dakota Deaver is here faithfully doing the interview with us. So how big of a Raider fan would you say you are?
I'm a diehard Raider fan. I've been to almost every game since my beginning of my freshman year, and most away games, I always go to them. If they're close.
And how would you say you're feeling about this first playoff game?
I feel pretty good about it. I think they'll do good, and I think they'll make it to the second round.
You think you'll travel to an away game if it's a away playoff game?
Yeah, yep, I'd say I will.
And then you were at the state championship last year too, right?
Yes.
So, rooting for them to get back to the state championship, right?
Yes, that's what we're hoping for.
So what we're all hoping for. Well, thank you, Dakota, for taking the time to talk with me. I'll send it back to you, Drew.
Well, we thought we were going to have Nathaniel Webb. He must have
he
checking out on that.
Yeah, he got out the picture quickly, but my man Deaver will not.
Oh, yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, they go to support the Raider team, and just great young men, obviously. Dakota, man, he is a funny dude as well. I've known that kid for as long as I've been a teacher out at Walton for years. And, of course, you know him very well as well. Just a good kid.
He's my beef hookup. He's my local honey hookup. He's my pork hookup. He's just, he's my guy.
Folks, we're down here again. We're going to be here for almost a whole nother hour again, if you're not familiar with it, Drive Out 119. Look for all the excitement that's happening. Look for the big fire up on the hill. So you can still come here. They still have popcorn, and this is for free. Popcorn, they've got some free drinks. I don't know if they've got any glizzies yet because Swolby ate a bunch of them. In fact, I think Swolby was trying to go the 999 challenge.
Listen, tell them to get mine on the grill extra crispy. Okay, extra crispy.
He can't be. Beggars can't be choosers. He's going to get what he gets. They've got, of course, food and drinks here for everybody. They've got warmers, so it's not going to be cold. They've got all these warmers up and down here. We're in the picnic shelter area, obviously. Right beside us, Krista Casto with Wonderwall Events. They've got the 360-degree sphere where you can get in there and take weird, cool pictures, as you can see it. Thanks very much, Swolby. And then DJ Dusty is up top. He is hammering out the music. It's just a lively environment down here at this pep rally bonfire. And again, we've got to continue to thank the people who put this on. And of course, if you look up right behind us, you've got Conserve, you've got Handy Mart, the Freshwater family, and the foundation. Of course, Amy Freshwater Childress is so. She was there back in the day.
She
remembers knows
the feeling.
What it takes.
So yeah, she remembers the feeling. She also wants to bring that back, and she is one of the driving forces of this. So very, very appreciative of all of her hard work. She's constantly working on stuff and thinking of ideas and getting with Coach Burdett. And man, just a good person to have in our corner, and that can make some really good things happen.
Yeah, I know Coach Burdett is so thankful for, again, we say Amy, she's our contact, but there's a whole lot of people involved that go in with this. And so we just want to say thank you to all of the volunteers who helped put this on. Of course, Angie Simons made a call in for me to get some coffee. By the way, Swolby would love some coffee. We've still got 50 minutes. He's not even wearing a sweatshirt. He's wearing a short sleeve shirt right now. He might have some blood pressure issues. I'm not sure.
He's a man.
Yeah, he's a crazy man. But he does need some coffee. If anybody is out there and you could put a call in to send him some coffee. And by the way, I could take a refill as well if that's entirely possible. But there's a lot of volunteers here. They are working this gig as well. And so we're excited about having everybody here to just be excited. And again, it is Friday night football once again. Roane County versus Clay County. And again, this is a rematch. We're not going to get into it too big right now. We want to wait for Coach Burdett to come down here and get his thoughts about it. But obviously, we could talk about last week. I think that when we were prepping for this, we knew that there was a possibility that this game between Roane County and Tyler Consolidated could be a battle, just because Tyler Consolidated has a lot of athletes. Mm-hmm. They are home. It was senior night. They were playing for a spot possibly in the playoffs, and they've got athletes that have proven themselves in close games with good teams throughout the year.
Yeah.
And so they weren't going to back down. Roane County got up 16-0 right away, and I thought, all right, let's go. Boy, it was just what I was hoping wasn't the case. I was trying to have a nice, relaxing weekend, John, and it started off with stress. But in the end, again, the Raiders found a way to make it happen with big plays at the right time.
Yeah, Tyler Consolidated was playing in a playoff game. They were playing for their playoff lives. They were trying to get in, and with big points from what Roane County could have given them, they just gave us everything. They threw the kitchen sink at us. I'm still having nightmares about Winfrey in the backfield. Trying to figure that out. Later in the game, Coach Burdett was able to make that. To make that thing happen. He really did a good job of figuring out how to mirror him, and once he did, we shut it down. And but man, it was just a back and forth game. We were up by 16 at one point, and then up by 18 at a point, and then they were back and forth. So tip your cap to those guys. They played as hard as they could. Their coaches coached them up very hard, but they were ready for us. They were very ready, and they were focused, and they were trying to get themselves into the playoffs.
Lisa, I'm with you. I don't know if any of those young boys are going to be willing to talk to Emma Sloan. But, yeah, we are absolutely thrilled that the Spencer Middle School Yellow Jackets brought home a CWVAC championship for what we know in our minds to be only the fourth time in the history of the CWVAC conference. That's a big deal for those young men.
A lot of support, though, for those young men throughout the whole entire season.
Absolutely.
The community was there. They backed us as well. We had great viewership on our games. Some of it that hurt us a little bit because the coaches' staff from the other teams were game planning good for us. But you know what? We want to beat them that way. And then the school. The school was great as well. They did a lot of really good things for us. We had a pep rally. We had a tailgate before the championship game. Decorated the school. So, yeah, thank you, Lisa Simmons, one of those big supporters for the Yellow Jacket football team. So, congratulations to them once again. But
in case you don't know, Lisa Simmons with Honest Fred's Flooring, you're going to see that logo, and you're going to hear that advertisement on Friday night footballs, Friday night football games, on basketball, baseball games, on softball. Big sponsor of not only Spencer Middle School, but Roane County High School, and WVRC. Thanks very much there, Lisa. I don't know if any of those middle school boys are going to be willing to get on air. Maybe get Taven up there or something. That guy will talk.
I think they're already kind of down the hill.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yep.
So let's go back to Friday night, John. There were some very important moments in that game. Obviously, Roane County responding after going down 22-16, after giving up 3 straight scores, and you're just like, you're on the ropes in what turned out to be quite a heavyweight fight. And to get the lead at halftime was a monumental deal for Roane County. They had to score, number one, but you mentioned they had to get the 2-point conversion because tied isn't enough. You had to take the lead back to get some sense of momentum back.
One of the things that Emma brought up at the end of the game was the Ripley game. And that you and I and Coach Burdett had talked about that you play those tough games, you figure out how to win, and we took some of that momentum or the knowledge from that Ripley game, and we were able to use that, especially with our younger group. Not young in playing, but young in being in those positions.
By the way, Swolby very quickly recognizing your son Taven in the booth, in the Sphere, getting ready to go crazy in the Sphere. Of course, Krista Casto making sure those two are where they need to be for it. That was one huge deal, obviously, was the halftime lead. And then right away in the second half, having to respond after giving up a 3rd down and 10 play for a touchdown again to Gideon Winfrey. You're just like, you're getting shot. You're getting a heavyweight slugfest. You're getting a big haymaker each time you go back down immediately. Roane County responds, comes right back and scores to take the lead. Not only that, they scored 3 times to get that lead out big, and it turns out they needed it.
They did because the offense of the Knights, they just kept they kept bringing it, and they were able to get themselves into the end zone a few different times. I was impressed with the freshman quarterback down the stretch. He got dinged up first of all, but he came back in and played. And I actually talked to Gideon's dad after the football game. I've known him for a while through wrestling, and I told him, I said, you let him know that he had a great game. I wish it would have been against us, but he's the best running back that we've seen all year, and I'm not sure why they switched it up and took him out at certain times. Now, I get it. He was running 50, 60 yards, and you need a bit of a breather. But, there was a couple times where I thought maybe we were fortunate to have him go out, because we were just trying to figure out how to make that happen. And once the coaching staff did, it settled down big time.
I think that two-point conversion catch by Cooper Greathouse in the end zone was massively, massively important. A couple of big sacks by the Raiders. Of course, Garrett Brabham just continues to do that. Leo Rogers had a big one.
Yeah.
You had Hogan Greathouse get in on a big one. Quentin Cooper.
Yeah.
And there were some combo sacks that were very necessary defensively. Offensively, Javon Letourneau. Boy, what a gamer, man. He had to. We were hoping we didn't need him because he's coming back and not 100%, but we did need him.
Yes.
And he still responded.
Yeah, he did. Not at 100% for sure, but over 150 yards rushing.
Yeah.
The other running backs, too, you've got to talk about Colton Starcher running hard, close to 1,000 yards. He should have an opportunity this week to get there.
If we want to win, he will.
Yeah. And then, Evan Greathouse, just another sophomore. And he's you can see him figuring out the varsity speed. You can see him starting to use his eyes. Impressive breaking tackles. The one thing I will say, Evan, I got some knowledge at the running back spot. Get those shoulder pads down, run behind those shoulder pads. You be the hammer and let that guy be the nail.
Yeah, he took a shot a game before that we thought was going to be enough for him. So, that's all right. He's learning very well. So, a very good victory for Roane County. And, again, what that does is that gives you a couple of battle games that you are battle-tested. You know how to be in tough, nerve-wracking situations and come out on top. You're going to need that coming into the postseason. If you want to win in the postseason, you're going to get everybody's best, and so you got to bring your best, but you've also got to be able to overcome adversity as well. We are live down here at the Freshwater Park, and it is Bonfire Pep Rally night. Again, you've still got time to come down here, folks. Wonderwall Events is here with their Sphere. DJ Dusty's playing the music up there. Everybody up top around the bonfire. People are down here around the picnic shelter. They've got warming stations set up so you guys can stay warm here. They've got some glizzy still, some hot dogs that are giving away. There's still popcorn to give away, some drinks that they have as well. We are awaiting Coach Paul Burdett. He's got a few things that he's got to attend to.
He's a busy man.
Up top. Yeah. He is a very, very busy man. But we have our sideline reporter who is with us, and she is up at the bonfire. We're kind of relying on Emma Sloan to just grab people and growl. And I don't mean technically growl at them, but she's already gotten a chance to talk to a couple of people. And she does have a cheerleader with her right now, Autumn Kraft, representing the Roane County High School Lady Raider cheerleaders, who, again, are very important tonight. They're very important every Friday night, but they've got something very important that they are going to do tomorrow night. Emma, take it away.
All right, I'm here with Autumn Kraft, who's a senior and a cheerleader. So, Autumn, have you been cheering all 4 years of school?
Yes, I have.
So, tell me a little bit about your experience cheering all 4 years.
So, since freshman year, it has definitely been a crazy journey. I went from tumbling to not tumbling, and it's definitely a sport where you literally go through blood, sweat, and tears. We definitely are trying this every coming on everything for competition, but not only that, the sideline as well, to make sure we're best not only for our competition but on the sideline as well. It's definitely a big part of what we do. Is you'll mostly see us on the sidelines and cheering on, but our competition is also a big part of why we do our sport that we do.
I feel like a lot of people don't even realize that you guys do the competition part of it, and they just you're down there on Friday doing cheers and stuff. So talk about how much of your practice time goes into your competitions.
I would say a greater portion of our greater majority will go into our competition. Definitely a good majority of it. During the first half, we were more focused on the sideline aspect of it. However, once we get later into like August, that's when we really start to focus on our competition. And we're working every day from Monday to Thursday. And of course, Friday, we're at a game, we're cheering on the sideline.
Yes. So, which part of cheer would you say is your favorite?
That's a really tough question because I love the spirit aspect. I love having fun on Friday nights. And competition is definitely something that challenges you, and you're not only using your physical strength, but it's also mentally as well. So I honestly love that challenge. So I would have to say the competition aspect is definitely my favorite.
So, if the people don't know, you do have a competition at the high school tomorrow, correct?
Yes, everybody should come. It is definitely a little bit longer, but it is absolutely one of the funnest and what most uniquest experiences that you could participate in. It's not necessarily, if you walk in, a competition atmosphere. All the teams will cheer on one another. It's more like we're all one big family, but we don't know each other.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a bunch of fun. If you don't want to go and sit through the call competition, you could come in around 7 and to just watch us, if that is whatever you want to do.
So, if you want to go watch the Lady Raider cheerleaders to compete tomorrow at Roman County High School, be there at 7 o'clock to cheer on those girls. Thank you for your time, Autumn.
Thank you.
Back to Drew.
Thank you so much, Miss Emma. And of course, we wish the best of luck to Autumn and the rest of the girls as they are in the LKC conference cheerleading meets on tomorrow night at Rowan County High School. We did happen to find one of those young men from Spencer Middle School who was a very integral part of a CWVAC championship game. It was kind of like I thought that John was going to make Taven Penna come up here. Instead,
he
Taven
volunteered.
Penna said, can I get on the air? Taven, be careful what you wish for, buddy, because we will put you on the air. We got no problem with that.
We'll put you to work.
Yeah, we're going to put you to work after this. Hey, dude, number one, awesome win. Tell me what you guys were feeling at the end of that ball game when you finally got the victory, when you finally got the dub, you finally got the conference championship. What were your guys feeling?
Just emotion. That's it.
Tell them what you told me about Miss Kuhn.
I never thought I'd cry in Miss Kuhn's arms.
EB, you got the ability somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Taven, you had a very important play late in the ball game that it took me 3 replays to realize. I was focused on a fumble. I was trying to see if it was a quarterback exchange issue, and I missed the first 2. The third time is when I saw you. What was your thought process on basically the inch line trying to stop South Harrison from getting into the end zone and the play that you made?
Just to kill the center.
Well, you didn't kill him physically, but you really messed up a play there. What happened there? What did you do, and what did that cause?
I just pancaked him, and he the ball went under his legs. That was it. And the running back kicked the ball into CJ.
Yeah, so what happened there, John, was basically Taven shoved the center back into the quarterback who couldn't even get the ball up. It falls off of the back of the center's behind, kicked into the end zone. And again, it took me a while to see that.
Yep.
As a coach, obviously, but as a dad, that's got to be a cool thing for you to see. Did you recognize that when the play happened? Did you know that that's what happened?
Yeah, because we were in a 6-man front and we had switched to a 7-man. We would bring Taven down to the nose because Taven played linebacker most of the game. There were different situations where we would bring him down to play the nose, and it was a needed time right there. So we brought him down to the nose, and once we knew the ball was in the end zone, I figured that he was the one that kind of blew the play up. And as I'm watching, I'm making sure that he's getting low, he's staying down, and he gets in a 4-point stance and basically just blows through the center, and the exchange wasn't even there. The quarterback couldn't get to it quick enough. So it was exciting. And proud of him and proud of his teammates. They did a really good job this year. They worked very hard throughout the whole entire summer, and it was a great team win because a lot of different guys in that game made plays.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of different fellas got dinged up, so we had to figure things out on the fly and came out as champs.
How about old Joe Kuhn? Was he feeling good after that?
Yeah. I don't think he realized he caught the ball.
Well, he knew what to do with it.
It bounced off of his legs, and he recaught it. So.
Yeah, he knew what to do with it. Taven, we were just talking about the high school and how they were in a battle last Friday and how they drew on the battle with Ripley and down the stretch late in the game that's very, very close and intense. If you could, take us into the huddle with just the players, with you guys. Was there ever a time when you guys felt like you were nervous during that game, late in the ball game? Were you confident still that you could win it? Or take us through what was happening late in the ball game and even in overtime. What were you guys telling each other?
A lot of mixed stuff. People were getting mad at each other, and then he was like, "We got this," and then he was like, "No, we don't." Random stuff like that.
It's a middle school huddle.
Yeah, if you'd never been through it really in a fire like that. You guys were in a close game with South Harrison before, but nothing like that. Nothing could prepare you for a game like that. And in the end, you guys were able to make a couple of majorly big plays. And to think about this, capping off your middle school career with a championship, you and a bunch of other 16 to be exact 8th graders, has got to feel good to walk out as champions.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm really proud of is that the boys that were from Walton, the Shiree boys, and then Walker Strickland from Gary, where we were able to play as one team together. And when we did that, we brought a championship home. So that was important to me. When these guys were C-teamers, they won a championship. So Walker was on that team, Brogan was on the team, Taven was on the team, Joe, I believe. So, a lot of those kids had won a championship at the C-team level, and to see them go out and kind of cap off their middle school career, very excited for that. But now we're on to wrestling.
Hey, no rest for the weary. What's up right now for you?
Wrestling.
That's all he says, just wrestling.
Yeah.
What's the goal?
Either 155 or 145 and WSAZ champion.
An SAZ champion. What about the CWVAC? You already won the football title.
Yeah, I got second place last year because I wrestled Bryson Kearns, and he's pretty strong.
Well, Taven, thanks for joining us, buddy. Congratulations. Big play and a big game for you and the Yellow Jackets, and you guys are champions. They can't take that away from you, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Taven Penna, member of that CWVAC championship team from Spencer Middle School. 16 8th graders on that team, to be exact, heading up to the next level. Coach Paul Burnett, we're just waiting for. He's going to be excited, obviously, to see a bunch of those kids up there next year. He's got a lot more to do this year, though, before he even thinks about next year. Sean Black, what's up, buddy? We're waiting to see you chime in. William Harper, what's up, man? We're having a good time. We're trying to stay warm. Somebody brings Holby and I some coffee. We would love some coffee. We're going to be here for another 30 minutes. I'm cold. He's wearing a short-sleeve shirt. He's a lunatic, but he's handling it, I guess.
I'll take some hot hands or some more coffee if anybody's out there, too.
Yeah, please do. We're going to send it away for our sponsor again. Thanks so much to Doug Walker with DW Excavating. They are the ones who brought in on the rollbacks. They brought the two teams to our pep rally here at the Freshwater Park. We invite you to stop down, steal some glizzies, some hot dogs, some popcorn, some drinks ready for you. If you're cold, go up to the bonfire. They're hanging out up there, enjoying themselves. It's been a great night. We're going to hang out for another probably 30 minutes. We're going to get Coach Paul Burnett on in just a little bit. Stay tuned.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another exciting week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. After a very close battle in the final game of the regular season against Tyler Consolidated, a 46-43 victory, the Raiders turned their attention to the postseason as they will host the Clay County Panthers for round one of the Class AA playoffs. Roane County High School Raider football is brought to you by these community-minded sponsors: Roane General Hospital, Akatosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, Route 33 Steakhouse, Miller's Suds and Sales, Roane Self Storage, Circle S Farms, Backwood Ramblings, Stats Pharmacy, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, or DePue Realty, Penna's Barbershop, Norman L. Daniels State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Mini Hamilton Health Systems, Poca Valley Bank, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, People's Bank, Shamblin Brothers Farm Supply, Stump Funeral Home, The Hungry Moose Restaurant, Paramount Surveying, APS Air Production Services, Spencer Pizza Hut, Gomard and Spencer, Little Canal Bus, Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House, Tudor's Biscuit World, Hardin Insurance Agency, Harris Oil Company, Kirby Insurance, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7 o'clock p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
Watching a little bit of wrestling. I don't know if Solby put the camera on him or not, but in the Underwall events sphere, a couple of ladies engaged in battle. Getting a little bit of extra work in tonight.
That's right. They are excited for next Monday to roll around. That was cool.
Yeah, a little bit of wrestling action just in front of us. That was kind of cool for us to see. We are live at Freshwater Park here, just off of Route 119 and just past the State Road Garage. The 12th edition of the Raider Review. Man, does it go quickly each and every season. We are in the postseason for high school football in the Mountain State, and we're going to go ahead and get started talking about this upcoming ball game by going back. We take it back to the third game of the season, Roane County hosting Clay County at County Stadium. The Raiders really dominant in that ball game, and it started out with a couple of big plays for the Raiders. Really got Clay County on their heels to begin with, and I think that was necessary. With Clay County, they do have some returning skill guys, but again, they got a quarterback that needs a little more time to work with his kids. He's got that now.
Yeah.
And so the team that we saw that evening is not the team that we are going to see coming up on Friday night.
No, what a perfect time for this guy to get a headset on. Been busy, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, busy man, Coach Paul Burnett. We were just starting to talk about Friday night by going back to the first time you and Clay County clashed. It was back in week number 3, and I thought that being able, with a team that had a young quarterback and some new guys filling in places that weren't quite where they needed to be just yet, and they still needed more reps, you jumped on them early, Coach, with a couple of big plays from scrimmage, got a 14-0 lead, and I think that was incredibly important. That team is not going to be the team that you see, though, this Friday night. They're going to be a totally different beast.
Yeah, those guys that were new at that point in time, really grown up and gotten better each and every week over the season. And obviously, quarterback, Cooper Collins was very green at that time. It was only his third start at quarterback, and he's got 7 more that he's got under his belt right now. And you can watch film and see that he's gotten better and better each week and as the season's gone through. So not going to be the same team. Of course, we're not going to be the same team, but it doesn't matter when you play them or where you play them. It's always a battle with Clay County.
And it's one of those things that if you're going to see an air raid attack, which you will absolutely see, they're going to try to throw the ball all over the field. It's that constant pressure on the defensive secondary, and that's that constant pressure on your defensive ends and your spy backers to get pressure on the quarterback quickly. you're going to be stressed to the limit when it comes to that. That's just something that happens with a team that likes to pass the ball so much.
Yeah, and you got to be able to, you got to be able to change your coverages up. You got to be able to change your fronts up. You got to do things to try and kind of make them uncomfortable, if you can. And but the biggest thing is to try to, keep the big plays from happening and just try to keep everybody corralled.
Yeah, Coach, we are going to break away here just for a second because we've got another member of the crew here with us. She's been up there working hard tonight, and that's Emma Sloan. I know that we're very, very excited about what she has done this year, Coach, and you put it together very nicely when you put the post up. She's just done a great job with us, and she's working tonight. And that's just what she does. Speaking of that, we're going to send it up to Emma Sloan. She has corralled a lot of people tonight. She got a chance to talk to the Water Girls, a couple of Water Girls. A great job with them. But she has got some seniors with her up there at the bonfire. I'm glad that fire's going, Emma, because it is not warm here tonight.
Yeah, so I'm here with a few of our senior football players. I'm going to start off by asking them how each of them have personally improved this year.
I think I've personally improved on my defensive playing. Haven't played much of it all my years here until this year, but I feel like I've stepped up a little bit and started taking control of my own spot.
Mine's probably my offensive line spot. Really worked this offseason to improve myself.
I've got better at my pass rushing moves this year, more than I have last year since I'm more experienced this year.
I would say my physicality has got better just this year, mainly in my passing.
And what has been your greatest memory from this year?
I think my greatest memory this year is when we beat Ripley in a very close game. It showed us what we can be and who we are, and I think we really grew up that game.
Mine's just every practice. It's always fun to be at practice.
Probably the touchdown that I had against Clay County whenever I blocked the punt and got the ball.
No. Yes.
We
are, but we aren't.
My favorite memory would be the summer, in which it is every year. They're very memorable.
What has been the team's greatest struggle this year?
I think our team's greatest struggle this year has just been our own minds. I think we can do anything we want, but I think we're limiting ourselves in our heads.
And how have you prepared this week for Friday's game?
We've really been focused on ourselves and bringing pressure to the quarterback on the defensive side of the ball. And on offense, we've kept the playing the same.
Okay, thank you guys, and good luck at your first playoff game.
Thank you.
Back to you, Drew.
Well-spoken young lady, Coach Burdett. Emma just working so hard to try to add to the experience of our Friday night games and, of course, helping add, getting those senior captains up there. Coach, those guys, very integral part of this season and the last 4 years. You put up a stat, and I was doing some research. This senior class, unbelievable. But on top of that, in the last 5 years since 2021, you guys are 50-8.
51-8.
Sorry, I missed one there.
Well, it's because I messed it up. I thought it was 50-8, and then I was like, I better check that because we had some shirts made.
Oh gosh!
I went back and started looking. 51-8 overall, 46-4 in the regular season. Since 21.
Yeah.
You don't realize it when you're doing it, guys. You don't realize it. Everything comes so fast, and you get caught up in the moment, and that's not what the focus is. But every now and then you get a chance to sit back and think. Pretty special. Special. But the most special part is we're not done this year.
Yeah, you got a whole lot of work that you have done already this week and are doing. How hard is it to face a team 2 times in one season and plan for that team and beat that team?
I think it's extremely hard. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. But we always know that, like we said earlier, when you play Clay County, you're going to get their best no matter what. And, it's a little bit of a rival. And so, first time for everything. This will be the first time we faced them 2 years.
Yeah.
2 times in a year, so here we go.
This is their home away from home. This will be the 3rd time they've been on County Stadium's field. Coach, we mentioned that they're not going to be the same team that we saw in week 3. Well, here's the deal, too. Speaking of that, just about had a heart attack. Here's the deal. we are not the same team, and I'm not just saying that as in we've grown up. We're not the same team on the field right now. You've got guys in different positions. You've got guys that they didn't even see in the backfield that they're going to have to see and deal with in this game for you guys because of injuries this season.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year, and you guys know that. You've been along the ride, but I'll tell you, the most important part is the resiliency of this team. We've plugged new guys in new spots, and it never comes without the best effort that the guys got, and it's a family inside the locker room. So, when you put somebody new in, there's nobody going, that should be me or it shouldn't be him. They grab those guys and take them out on the field with them and make them a part of what they're doing. And, it's just been really special to see, what we've been able to do with new faces throughout the season. And, one new face is Evan Greathouse, and he had a tremendous game last week at Tyler. It really growing up on the football field. And the best part of it, guys, is, last week, those 3-4 running backs, if you count Leo in there, that you've seen on the field, all 4 of those guys are coming back next year, and you get Brody back next year.
Yeah.
So a lot to look forward to, but a lot to look forward to on Friday night because those guys are playing on Friday night.
I think of how special this program is and how selfless this team is, and that's, as you said, you get new people, you get new kids. That's different mentalities and different kids, and kids can. Some kids can be selfish. Some kids can't. For some reason, it has been this way for the last however many years. But specifically, you go back to the team from last year. Of course, this group of players over the last 4 or 5 years, they do not care who gets the glory. They just don't care. They want to win football games. Period.
It's the program, though,
right.
Drew. That's it goes back to the kids believing in our style of offense and what we do. And it's funny. We watch a spread team, and every now and then they'll run the ball, right? We watched a lot of film this week and watch a lot of film with our guys. And Tuesday before practice, we were watching film, and somebody was playing Clay, and they had ran the ball, 1 or 2 times, and it was like, they ran it on first down, and so it was 2nd and 6, and they take shots down the field the next 2 plays, and our quarterback, right, who has been a starter for 4 years, said, man, why can people just not be happy with getting 4 yards of play? And he was dead serious.
Right, that's your quarterback.
Yes. And I said, Jake, it's because they don't have the same program that we got.
Yes.
Their program believes in throwing the ball. Our program believes in running the ball. And we are happy if we get 4 yards on a play. Hey,
yeah.
3 of those is a first down. And we know that eventually we're going to break one. We know eventually we're going to take a top off with a pass.
Yeah.
But it's believing in that and believing in each other and understanding that it doesn't matter who runs the ball as long as the Raiders win. That's the only thing that matters, and these kids have grown up understanding that and knowing that and believing in that. And that's one of the reasons that we've been able to get to the point that we've gotten to today with our program.
So you're now 5 years straight back in the playoffs, and the 9th time in 15 years at the helm of this program, Coach. You've made 3 quarterfinal games. Of course, last year, the championship game that you guys were in. This is the 4th straight time of hosting a playoff game. And so these boys on your team, especially for those seniors that we just talked with, they are familiar with these first-round games at home. They can be very challenging just in the fact that it's the postseason. But it seems as if they are helping lead these youngsters into believing in what you guys are capable of each and every ball game. We said week number 2, week number 3, week number 4, even maybe into the 5th and 6th year, we don't really know how good we can be or who we are. We're finding it out right now at the right time, I think.
Yeah, the best part about it, Drew, is we had a tremendous year last year, as everybody knows. And we played in the state championship, and we graduated from some really good seniors. And coming into the off season, going in the weight room in January, February, March, April, May, You hear some rumblings around the state. Roan's not going to be as good as they have been. They lost all their players, and you get into June and July, and you travel the state, and you play in 7-on-7s, and you do joint practices, and you still hear that stuff. And so I told the guys, I said, you guys have everything in front of you. Everything that you want is there, but mostly you got a lot of proven wrong to do.
Yeah.
The stuff that you hear is just white noise. Up to us, it doesn't really matter, but it is motivation. So we lost all of our starting running backs from last year, lost 2 really good offensive linemen from last year, lost both starting linebackers, a couple of starting defensive tackles, a starting DB. We had to plug people in. Here we are, getting ready to host the playoff game at 9-1.
Yeah.
It's because of the amount of time that these guys spend together, the amount of time they spend in the weight room, the amount of time they spend conditioning, and the amount of time they spend learning the offense, learning the defense, and honing in on their individual skills is the reason that we can get to this point. And that comes with a lot of dedication. It comes with a lot of sacrifice. I tell the guys during the summer, about once a week, I say, hey, you got buddies laying in bed right now. We start at 7 o'clock, and I tell the guys, if you're not early, you're late. Starting at 7 o'clock means we're on the field or we're stretching at 7 o'clock. You need to be here and be dressed, be ready, be awake, and be ready to go. And so, most of those guys are filing into the locker room, 6:30, 6:40.
Yeah.
And, but the biggest thing about that, guys, is we're not just teaching guys how to be football players. We're teaching guys how to be successful members of society when they leave us.
Yeah.
When you become an adult, you're not going to lay in bed during the summer. You're going to get your butt up. You're going to go to work. You're going to be an important part of what your community is, an important part of your workplace, and you're going to go out and earn a keeping for your family.
Yeah.
And that's what we're teaching. And it's satisfying to see those guys buy into it and to just keep coming back year after year after year. I mean, we had 6-7 middle schoolers out there doing it with us last year, so they already know what's expected coming into this season.
That's a big deal to continue to filter the program itself to the younger levels. Of course, you got a chance to watch your son help his Spencer Middle School team win a CWVAC championship. That's something we've been celebrating here this evening as well. You got 16 8th graders on that program. That's got to be exciting as a head football coach at the high school level.
Yeah, it's huge. I remember last year we went to Braxton County and played a middle school playoff game, and you walk up through there and you count 18 freshmen, 18 8th graders going to Braxton's freshman team, and I said, that's a big shot in the arm for your program. Well, here we are. We're getting ready to do the same thing next year, and the key is to make sure that all those guys are there and together and to keep working to continue to win championships just like they did this year.
Yep.
The last team that won a championship at the middle school level played for a state championship at the high school level. I don't forget.
We implemented a lot of the high school offense and the lingo so everybody on the team was kind of figuring those things out. They're used to hearing those kind of things, and coaching at the high school with Coach Burdett and then coming back down to the middle school level, it was easy to see why we were so successful. And putting that kind of offense together or working with our kids the way that we were able to, it's just going to make things fun to watch the years to come.
Yeah, the transition's a lot easier when the kids already know some of the lingo, know the expectations to begin with, and then are able to start filtering that in as soon as they get to the next level. Hopefully you guys stay healthy next year so you don't have to lose JV games. I'm telling you, it's just been a wild one this season. Coach, before we get ready to shut down here, one thing I wanted to talk about was John and I have mentioned, of course, and Emma did a great job of asking you at the end of that Tyler Consolidated game how important going through the fire against Ripley was to help you guys know that you can be in the fire and still come out on top. And then how important was it to do it twice, especially right before the postseason, because you may be in some dogfights here. You may be in a dogfight Friday night.
Yeah.
And so the way to not be nervous and just be confident that you can make it happen.
Well, number one, I didn't want to be in that type of game Friday night.
nor did anybody else.
But you you can always learn from those type of games, and you can always go back and draw from those type of games when you get in that same situation again down the road. Ripley was a huge game for us. I told Emma after the game, I told the guys after the game, I really felt like that was a grow-up game. You know, we were getting better each and every week, but that was a grow-up, mature type game where you had to find it, and you had to dig down deep and win it. So, hey, Red. So, you know, and then to turn around and have to do it again Friday night. I mean, we're up 16 points, we're down 6 points. Then we're up by 2 points at halftime. Then we're down by 4 points again, and then we go up by 3 scores. Yeah. And it's like, well, here we go, and then, well, here they come again. So that's man, that shows maturity amongst your kids, you know. And I told them somewhere there in the second half, I said, hey, we've been here before.
Yeah.
You know what it takes. Don't get discouraged. It's just adversity.
Yeah.
We face it all the time. You know, and we do our best to try to put our kids in adverse positions throughout the summer, you know, throughout camp, throughout the season, you know, and then on top of game situations. So just proud of them, and hopefully that, you know, what we did Friday night is going to be something we can draw from down the road. And you never know from week to week in the playoffs what's going to happen and where you're going to be. So very important. For sure.
One thing we do know, John Penna, is we know we're going to be on Friday night. We're going to be up in the booth at home, Roane County and Clay County, for the second time this season. Roane County's a different team, so are the Panthers. We're expecting nothing less than an intense battle between these old rivals that will just continue to meet each other. This is the first time, as you said, that Roane County and Clay County have met in the postseason after meeting in the regular season. I think back to the last time I can remember that happening with a rival would have been Ravenswood, years and years ago.
2010.
Caught them in the regular season close, and then they blew us out in the postseason. Was Peary a part of that team?
Oh, no, he was a baby.
No,
he was still a baby. Yeah, no hair on his beard. He would have been in 8th grade. He would have been.
He probably had a full beard at that point.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, Coach obviously
still had hair then too. On his head.
Yeah, head full of hair.
We obviously wish you the best of luck coming up here on Friday night. Again, it is a postseason for the 5th straight season. It is a home playoff game in the first round for the 4th straight season. It's a new year. It's a lot of guys, though, that have been in this environment, and we know that they're going to put forth #1 max effort coming Friday night. Okay, we're freezing tonight, Coach.
It's a little cold.
We're absolutely frigid here tonight. What a weird, wonderful West Virginia weather week it has been. We had mountains of snow on Sunday and Monday. It is freezing tonight. It's going to be beautiful on Friday, correct?
Yeah, it says 64 degrees. Whoa. You know, now if you'd have told me that on Monday at 3:30, I'd have called you a liar.
Yeah, that wind was blowing and the snow was coming down.
I was in the field house all day Monday watching film, putting plans together, and kids come in and we're talking about it. They're like, hey, let's go outside. And I walked over and opened the door, and the field is white. And I was like, well, I guess we can. And we did. We did. We went outside, did our normal Monday stuff. And but no, beautiful Friday night, 64 degrees on Friday. I mean, it'd be a little chill in the air by kickoff time, but hey, it's November.
It's football weather.
Why not? You know, and I said it at the bonfire, Drew. I'm going to reiterate it here on the air. I would love nothing more than have the most amount of people ever at County Stadium Friday night. It is of the utmost importance, guys, that we come out and support this team, pack the stands, get loud, cheer for them, get behind them. They know when you're there. They can hear you and they can feel you.
Yes.
If you don't think you can feel that energy when you're down on the field, you are completely wrong.
Yep.
It would mean nothing more to me than to have – listen, this is the only guaranteed home playoff game we have this year.
Yes.
And we got to win this one to move on to next week.
Yeah.
Why would you not be there?
Yeah.
Come out, support these guys, get loud, have fun, and enjoy the atmosphere.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is what you, as a fan, make it.
Yeah. You create the atmosphere for these kids, and that's what we need. Very easy. If you haven't figured it out by now, it's gofan.co. Gofan.co is how you can purchase your tickets Friday night. Obviously, they'll have the way that you can purchase them online at the gate if you'd like. It just takes a little more time. Why not go ahead and do it now? GoFan.co. and look up the Roane County-Clay County game. That's where you can purchase your tickets for the playoff game. Very easy to do. Do you know anything about the parking situation, Coach? I know it's not really your bag, but
it's going to be like it was during the regular season.
Okay.
Yep,
Same
just
like
regular season. You can pay to park up on the hill, or you can park on at the school in the front or on the sides or wherever down there.
We hope for and expect a massive environment. Please, folks, if you have ever if you've ever thought about coming to a game and you haven't yet, or if you've missed out on a few this year, this is not the one to miss out on. GoFan.co, find the tickets, purchase the tickets, be ready to get there and get loud. Be raucous. Make it a very intense, tough environment for our opponent to get through.
I promise you, Clay County is going to bring the county.
They're bringing it.
They're going to bring the county.
Yeah.
Yep. We need to bring our county.
Yeah. And it is 7 p.m. on Friday night. That is the kickoff, 7 p.m. For the first round of the Class AA state football playoffs. Roane County hosting Clay County, a 6 versus 11 matchup. Coach, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. Again, we're only guaranteed one Friday night from here on out. That's it.
That's right. Hey, that's why I told the kids, hey, it's win or go home. It's win or go home from here on out. Brand new season. Everybody's 1-0. Records from this point on don't matter. Everybody starts out 0-0. So only the strong survive from here on out.
Absolutely. We want to thank, of course, Amy Childress and the rest of the Freshwater Family Foundation, or Freshwater Family, of course, Conserve, Handy Mart, and all the volunteers that have come up here to help out. Thank you very much. Red's up here with us, enjoying his time as well. I want to thank,
out for
of
that
course,
fella here in a few years.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what.
Oh, just a bowling ball.
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank everybody for showing up here and showing out for the pep rally. If you can do this, you can certainly come into better weather on Friday night, folks, to County Stadium for that one. Of course, thanks to everybody who has helped us out with our information here tonight. I want to thank Emma Sloan, who really worked here tonight. She could have had nothing but fun, but she was up there working and continuing to hone her craft. She does a great job, and she's got a leg up on everybody else in the field she's trying to enter.
Remember us. Just remember us, Emma.
Just remember us.
Come on.
Yeah, just remember I allowed you to do post-game interview. Right, Emma. Right. I'm going to need some tickets one of these days.
Absolutely. John Penny, you always get the half last word-ish.
Listen, you guys have already said it all. Just be there. Make the atmosphere electric. Let's get behind the Raiders, and let's get the W in our first round playoff game at County Stadium on Friday at 7 o'clock.
100%, folks. That will do it for our special live edition of the Raider Review from Freshwater Park. Thanks to Swoley, by the way. He's manned the elements here.
Man, they didn't have a sweatshirt on.
I know. He's a lunatic. Thanks to Coach Burnett. Thanks to John Penna for all of us here. Have a wonderful night. GoFan.co. Make sure you show up Friday night for the first round of the Class AA playoffs. Roane County and Clay County, folks.